Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to a live IGTV with me. This is also going to be transmitted on eCom Tips Podcast. Check out the eCom Tips Podcast. We have all kinds of stuff in there every day. My blog post articles from Keywebco.com go in there. Also, my new series called The Tip Whisperer, where I get in there and every day or two I sit there and I have a quote or a useful saying that's very short. All right, that's enough of my lead and intro. My name is Roger Keyserling. I am on Facebook Live every single day, 8:30-ish in the morning, Central Standard Time. A lot of what I do on IJTV is focused on for the people that come to my daily live show, which I have been doing since Facebook Live came out every single day for a very long time. We're talking years. So check that out. Basically, I'm just dropping on IGTV today to do a little chit chat, kind of familiarize people with me. Like I said, my name is Roger Keyserling. My business is Keywebco.com. You can find everything there. Another thing that I'm in here to talk about today is I've been working on websites for myself and a lot of other people. I am doing a Zoom meeting today at 1 o'clock Central Time with a member of a group that I really like. It's called Bolorama. By the way, Bolorama has a show on Sunday that you should watch. That's Jay Craft's show on YouTube, Bolorama. Look up either Jay Craft or Bolorama. Really good Sunday show. That's where I listen to most of my news about what's happened last week, and I don't have to filter through a bunch of useless information. So you really should check out that show. But since I'm going to be working on these websites using Zoom, I thought I would pop in here real quick and just do a little podcast video. I've written articles just recently on Zoom, so you can probably find it pretty quick. If you're listening to this, it should be pretty close to it. Zoom is my preferred way to work with anyone online. I have tried all the rest, and every time I always go back and select Zoom. If anyone asks, oh, we need to do a meeting, and they suggest all these different platforms, even though I have them all, I always say, why don't I just set it up on Zoom for us? I'm familiar with it. That's not the main reason. I'm very familiar with it, and it works pretty well. I mean, considering what it does and it doesn't cost, it works very well. Now, I say it doesn't cost. Let me be clear. If you're doing a Zoom meeting and it's just you and somebody else, 45 minutes will click by and they're not charging you. They'll give you a notification if they're going to charge you. But if you have 2 or 3 people in a meeting, you hit 45 minutes, you're going to have to stop unless you want to pay. You have to stop it and just do another meeting. You just say, okay, I'm going to set up another meeting. I'll send you an invite. We'll be all back together in about 5 minutes. So, when you're just working with one other person, you normally don't have to do that. Sometimes if their network traffic is very heavy and it's just you and someone else, sometime they'll say your meeting schedule time has expired and they try to hint that you need to get off there. But I have never been charged. I did a meeting for 3.5 hours once with just one other person, and I never was charged for that. So it just depends. But basically, figure it as a 45-minute meeting for free. With all the people you want, anything you want to do. You can record them. You can take over the other person's computer. The phone, theoretically, you can take it over, but I have never tried, nor would I. That's a little different, taking over someone's phone than taking over their PC. So I recommend that if someone wants you to take over their screen, like, this is why it's so good, guys. I can sit here and say, go to keywebco.com, find the little square box menu, push the menu button, scroll down till you see this, push that, wait for this window open. You see all that conversation? If I was on Zoom, I'd say, I'm going to take over your computer, watch where the mouse goes. I push a button, I do everything, they just watch, and they already know how to find everything. And it's faster. You can record it and review what you've learned later. I never record mine. If the other people want to record them, that's fine. I think since I'm hosting this one, I'm not going to record it. If they want to record it, they can do a screen record. I record paid sessions because anytime someone pays for a session, I record it. But if it's an unpaid session, I don't record them. But it is useful if you record them because, for example, let's say you're in a Zoom meeting with somebody and they say, okay, I need a new header picture for my website. Where do I find what size it is? Where do I find what shape it needs to be? How do I install it? Well, that could take about 10 minutes of explaining, look here, look there, look there, look everywhere. But in a Zoom meeting, you just push a button, take it over and say, okay, here it is. Boom. This is where you can find this in the future. Boom. This is where it goes in. Boom. Here's a photo I'm going to send you from my memory. That's awfully cool too. It doesn't matter which computer you're on. So it has uses. One thing that you do need to know, though, if you're using Zoom, notice I'm talking about Zoom today. One thing that you do need to do if you use Zoom, though, is you need to make sure that you have cleared your cache, you have restarted your computer before your meeting. You want to make sure that you have the maximum Wi-Fi signal or plug in, because the software that you're using is big, guys. I mean, that Zoom thing does amazing stuff. So you really need not a bogged down heavy computer when you're using it. Now, you can use it anyway, but if your cache is full and you've got a little memory and stuff, it's going to run slower. And as it is, for free software, it runs pretty fast. I mean, it works pretty good. I have been on paid and free conferencing software, and guys, there's not much difference. Zoom is what I really recommend. Alrighty, guys. Well, I just wanted to pop in here really quick and do an IGTV live and also do a podcast transmission because I am going to be working on that Zoom today. I also published an article this morning or late last night, however you want to look at it, that tells you how to do Zoom. By the way, most of that information in the article was copied from Zoom. I did do some re-editing because it's a little new. Some new stuff is out. I did reword quite a bit of stuff, but essentially I just copied the information that was available on their website. I always mention that when I copy anything because I don't do a lot of copying. I do a lot of rewording because I have a photographic memory. I have to be careful. I have to make sure I reword everything I remember, or I'm just quoting something that I read 10 years ago and I won't even know it. So most of my articles, guys, are really, really good because basically I'm reading someone else's article while I'm writing it in my head. So all I have to do is do some rewording if there's something, that I want to add. So the structure of the Zoom article is actually really, really good because basically I based it on somebody else's. I mostly quoted and I did a lot of rewrites. So you might want to check that out. Zoom is the bomb, guys. And I keep going on about how good it is. Think of the amount of time you can save. If you have an e-commerce friend, I gave an example about the header, but let's say it's even something more simple than that. Let's say you're at the store. I do this all the time, guys. I buy things for other people to sell on Amazon. I go to the store, I buy their items. They pay me $1 an item, no matter how many are in each listing. It's $1 per item. And I ship that off to FBA for them. If it'll go to Amazon. If it can't go to Amazon, like sometimes they buy some brands and they're like, oh crap, I bought this and I can't send it to Amazon. Sometimes I'll either buy the merchandise out from them and put it on eBay, or if I'm friends with them and I trust them, I will keep the merchandise here and then they just send me a PDF when they sell it. I do require, if I do fulfillment, I do require and I will check that you have your orientation. In other words, where the product comes from needs to be listed at the warehouse here, not your home office. You guys, I won't get in trouble, but you guys can get in trouble with your account doing that. eBay wants to see if someone bought it from you in Missouri, they want to see it shipping from Missouri. Or they want to see it shipping for wherever you registered that item is coming from. Make sure you do that. All right, that's a little thing about Zoom today, a little tip about eBay. I hope you enjoyed this show. It's on IGTV, and I am also transmitting this today on eCom Tips Podcast. My name is Roger Keyserling of Keywebco.com. Make sure every time someone places an order, you fulfill that order as fast as possible. That's what your customers want. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to everyone again soon.